What's good, y'all? Welcome back to another video. It's your boy Ace here, and today I'm gonna be telling my first story time. This story time is called My First Time Calling the Police. I'm not gonna waste too much time. I'm gonna just get straight into it. So this story starts out in 7th grade, about 4 years ago. So I want to start off this story by saying I got snitched on. And then I want to start out by saying it wasn't my fault. Alright, let's get straight into it. So, 7th grade, it happened in civics class. I had civics 6th period. So, I'm going to civics class, everything's cool. Teachers outside, waving at everybody, having a good time, smiling. So, I roll up to class early. I see my boys already there, sitting at the table. We got my boy John, we got Brandon, we got Jose, and we got the snitch. I'm not gonna give away his real name, just in case he watched this video, but you know who he is. So I'm just calling him Kyle. So Kyle was always a cool dude, right? So we get to the table, teachers handing out worksheets, you know, basic civics day. So we go over there and we sit down. We start doing all our work. And Brandon's the smart one. Brandon pulled up his phone, went to Quizlet, found all the answers. So instead of a 30-minute worksheet, it took like 5 to 10 minutes. So when we were pretty much done before class started. So Brandon went ahead and turned in all our work. So our teacher said that we could have free time. You see, that was her first mistake. So we go in, or not go in. Brandon come back to the table to tell us we can use our phones, right? And so in junior high we didn't really use our phones like that. So we're all hyped, man. I'm hyped. You already know, man. So pull up my phone and go on Instagram, right? I'm just scrolling, nothing too. I'm not seeing nothing too crazy, right? And then I go past this like horror page, and it had like a demon looking face on it. It was like a demon ghost type of figure. So I'm like, hey yo Kyle, look at this. So I show him my phone, right? And Kyle like, whoa, bro, look what I can do. Kyle go like this and flips his eyes all the way backwards. He looked like a straight up demon, right? So how old was I? I was 12. So yeah, I was 12. Alright, so he rolls his eyes all the way back, and I'm still a kid now. So I'm like I started tweaking. So I took my phone and I was like, yo Kyle, I can't believe you did that, Kyle. So I take the phone, dial 911. Alright, so after I dialed 911, I think I was either on the school's Wi-Fi or have my data up, right? So dial 911. I wait a few seconds. I look down. I see the 0000, which means that 911 actually picked up. And as soon as I see it, I hung up so fast, man. I say, man, I was going so quick. Then I put down my phone. Kyle was looking at me like I'm the crazy one, after he just flipped his eyes all the way back like he was a devil. So Kyle get up. He's like, hey yo. I'm gonna call the teacher, Miss Katie. He's like, hey yo, Miss Katie, Adrian just called the police. And I'm like, yo, Kyle, chill. Kyle's like, nah, he called the police. So I'm like, man. So Miss Katie called me up to the table and tells me to bring my phone. So I bring it up, and she was like, Adrian, is that true? And Kyle's like, yeah, that's true. So I ain't even get a chance to talk, really. So she tells me take my phone and go up to the principal's office, man. And that's how I knew I was screwed. So I'm walking up to the principal's office. I'm like, man, I done messed up now. So I'm headed over to the principal's office. I figured I should walk fast in case somebody from like the police force or something came, right? So I'm walking fast to the principal's office, and then I'm seeing all sorts of teachers. I'm looking worried. They're asking me what's wrong and stuff. I'm just like, nah, I'm good. How you doing? You know, basic basic conversation. So I'm walking up to the office. I finally open up the door. I waited, man. I waited in the hallway for a little bit because I really did not want to go up there and tell him. So I walk in. He's like, "Yo, Adrian, what's up?" And I'm like, "Oh man, he knows my name, man. All right, when the principal knows your name, that's how you know you're in trouble." So I go up there. He's like, "Yo, Adrian, what's up, man? What's up? What you doing?" So I was like, "Not much. I'm gonna call him Mr. John, right? Our principal." So Mr. John is like, "Yo, Adrian, you look worried. What's wrong?" So I'm like, "All right." So I sat down. He closed the door. We talked. I was like, "All right, man. I saw something crazy, and I was calling the police for a joke." And Mr. John is a really cool principal, really. So when he gets upset, it's not something you see often. So I go. I'm in his office. We're talking about it. Mr. John's face turns completely red. He's 6'5", just sitting there, completely red. He's pissed. He's like, hey, Adrian, you can't do that, man. What's wrong with you? Why would you do that? I'm 12. At the time I'm 12, so I'm just sitting there like, I don't know. I'm sorry. And so Mr. John's like, you know what? You're lucky I know somebody. He goes over. He pulls up one of those old phones that has like the dial and everything. I don't even know. So he pulls it open. He's like, hey, this is Mr. John from this school, right? So he's like, uh, was a call made here earlier? And the police dude was like, nah, we didn't get a call. In my heart, I'm like, man, I just thought it was the bullet. I thought it was the bullet. So Mr. John, he's like, he turns around in his chair and he just looks at me right quick, and I'm like, I'm, I'm still freaking out because I just called the police. So Mr. John, right? He's like, all right, appreciate your help. Mr. John hangs up, turns completely around, comes back. He's like, Adrian, why would you call the police? And I wasn't gonna snitch on Kyle, even though Kyle told on me. So I was just like, I don't know, man. I thought I was being funny, or whatever. So Mr. Kyle or Mr. Mr. John, I forgot his name real quick. Mr. John is like, all right, Adrian, uh, write down your name, your last name, and something else, your phone number, I think. So I was like, all right, cool. So I wrote all that down. Mr. John's like, Adrian, get out. But he told me something. He gave me a warning. He was like, I'll suspend you if you do it again or something. I was like, oh man. So I'm walking back to class, and midway to class, I'm just thinking about it like, man, my mom is gonna beat the life out of me when she hears what I did, right? So I'm walking to class. I start walking slower, and then I don't know what it was, but I just felt like, I don't know. I guess it was guilt. So on my way to class, I just start crying. I'm crying, just walking through the hall crying. Nobody's saying anything to me. I just walk straight to class. Knock on the door. Annoying loud girl. Get up. Oh, answer the door. Oh, look, Adrian back. So I walk into class. Everybody's looking at me now. Everybody's on their phone. Everybody's just looking at me. Miss Katie's in the back, like, just, she's just in the back, like, like staring at me. Cause I don't usually cry, you know. I try not to, especially at like school or something. So I walk in. Oh, um, hold on. Never mind. Because her kids go to my mom's daycare. So that didn't even cross my mind until I got back to the class. So I walk in. Miss Katie's just staring at me. And I'm still crying. I walk over to my desk. I don't say nothing to nobody. I just go and I put my head straight down. And Kyle's sitting there on his phone. He probably didn't care. And everybody else at my table was just looking like Adrian's crying. I was like, man. He didn't say anything else for the rest of the period. Um, Bell rang. I got up. Miss Katie called me over. We talked about it. She was like, "You're not in trouble. I'm not gonna tell. I'm not gonna tell." So I'm like, "All right, cool." That's what I thought. I thought I was cool. So I should also bring up that Miss Katie was the track coach, and I took track that year. So after school, we walk over to the high school. Me, Brandon, and my group of friends, right? Walk over to the high school. Miss Katie's there. It's just awkward now because I had a feeling that she was gonna snitch. So so we walk over to the high school. We start practicing. I did the mile and the 800 relay, I think. Yeah, the mile's the 1600, I think. So start doing my events, start practicing and stuff. It takes like an hour, 2 hours. Finish that. I'm sore. I'm tired. And then at the end of practice, Miss Katie was like, "Hey, Adrian, you shouldn't have did that." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know I shouldn't have." She was like, "It's okay. I'm not gonna tell." And for some reason in my head, I'm just like, "Why does she keep saying this? She's gonna snitch on me." So I get driven home, right? Take my shower. I go and I lay down. I laid down with the blanket covered right here. I had the TV on like regular TV, and that's how you know something's not right, unless I'm just tired of something. So I turned off my light, and my fan. When my fan's turned off, you know that something's wrong with me. Laying down, blankets right here. My mom bust in the room. She bust in the room. She's like, "Hey Adrian, how was school today?" And that should have been a red flag, right there for me. So I walk in. No, she walks in, asks me how school was going. And I was like, I was nervous because she just bust in the room. I didn't even know she was coming. So I'm like, So I was like in sixth period, somebody called the police. I was trying to act like somebody, one of my classmates did it. So my mom's like, "Oh really? Why did Miss Katie come and pick up her kids and tell me that you called the police?" My heart is beating out of my chest right now, man. So I'm freaking out in my head, but I couldn't. There was nothing I could do. I called the police, and so my mom's like, "Come here." So she takes me out to the living room. We sit down, right? And she's like, "Adrian, do you know how pissed I was that you called the police at school, especially?" And she was like, "You could have killed somebody." So I like, that really took a lot of reflecting. So my mom made me write a letter to the principal apologizing for calling the police. So I wrote the letter to the principal, Miss Katie, and I think my other track coach, because I got on punishment for that. So she's like, "Adrian, she's like, I'm gonna beat the life out of you right now." But when I was in fifth grade, um, my mom does not play about grades. So I got a C on my report card, right? And my mom was like, "You want your whooping today or when the report card comes out?" And I got my whooping early because I was like, "Why not?" So the report card came out and tell me why I got a B instead of a C. So I just got whooped for no reason. So my mom was like, "You remember in fifth grade when I whooped you and you didn't deserve it?" I was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "I'll let you off the hook this time." She was like, "Just remember, if you do some dumb stuff again," she said. So man, you already know, man. So I was like, "Yes ma'am, yes ma'am." And like, it's like, I respect my mom, but I don't really say yes ma'am as much as I should. I'm like, yes ma'am, I love you mom, I love you." So at this point we all calmed down and stuff. She told the whole family. I called the police. I got talked to about everybody in the family. So yeah, that's pretty much it. This is my first story time. Oh, I'm gonna put the link in the description for my clothing brand, Vision Motors, right? I'm basically gonna sell shirts and other merchandise, right? In hopes of I want to help kids and people in need. So if you buy a shirt, part of the proceeds get donated to Wilson's Children's Hospital. So if you do that, it'll help out a bunch of kids that really need it, and I would appreciate it. Put down in the comments below your suggestions. Like this video, comment, share, subscribe. I'm out.